Picked up by Cincinnati out across the 46.
So wild, punt is blocked, then the ball in his hands. We knew he would look to his most trusted friend. Jamar Anthony Chase, right in their face. So cool, he was like jazz in New Orleans. Quick catch and the spin move, then he flew down the seam. He can't be denied with this QB by his side. Joey B sends me touchdown spree. Joey B, can't you see? He makes us all live so happily. Welcome to the number one Bengals podcast.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Dadio and Hodgie. I'm joined, as always, by Dr. Hodgie, and he is doubling as John Double Brain Sheeran.
So today,
to fill in.
I am Dr. Double Brain Hodgie, the electric Smudgy Sheeran.
Yes. We will see how that goes.
Yeah.
But, Dr. Hodgie, did you happen to catch the game last night?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Cincinnati Bengals.
Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Beating America's game.
Beating America's team on
Beating
the road.
America's team in America's
in
heart,
Jerry
man.
World.
Yeah.
Right? And
what a game.
What a game. And I don't know if I've ever seen a punt block, your punt being blocked, saving the game before. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
It was crazy.
It's crazy. Bengals get their punt block.
It was almost like an onside kick.
It was almost like an onside kick. If Zach Taylor planned that,
right,
he's
Genius.
a lot smarter. Yeah, a lot smarter than we thought. But because he probably didn't,
no,
you got to think that really this was just a fun win and not much more than that.
And if you really want to think about it,
yeah,
I mean, what they were 20-20 at that point?
Yes.
So how was the Bengals defense looking? Not good. They were very porous, so to speak.
Yeah.
Meaning they like the
Lot
other
of
side
acne.
was just I mean, like the run defense was especially horrid and disappointing.
Yeah.
So there was a good chance that they would punt the ball and lose the game.
Oh yeah. I mean, the game. I thought we had lost. I was about to fall asleep, and then I see the punt block. I was like, that was kind of fun. And then next thing I know, Joe Burrow throws a quick pass to Jamar Chase. And by the way, Jamar Chase, 13 receptions on like 18 targets. It was all day with those guys.
Yeah.
And Jamar Chase is the NFL leader in yards, receptions, and touchdowns, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But you got to think like, okay, this is all they got right now. This is basically all they got. And they keep going to it. And Joe Burrow
they kept not double teaming Jamar. It was weird. I didn't get that.
I felt like Jamar was being kind of like pushed to the sideline a little bit and all that, but he just, I mean, this guy, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, that combo, it's not just the best. It's historical. Like if you look at Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, amazing,
Yeah,
but also
time.
amazing system, also amazing coaching, also amazing defense. Also, I can't think of any duo, right?
Maybe you and me, but
maybe us.
very few.
Up against the odds stacked against you, that would be us.
Yeah.
But wow, okay.
What a game!
Yeah.
And Dadio, I mean, I'm watching the game, and it's weird because someone had tweeted that the Cincinnati Bengals are like they're like the Harlem Globetrotters and the Washington Generals on the same team.
Yeah,
and that's such a perfect description.
Yes,
because they looked so bad and yet so good.
They did.
At this point, it's weird because like the offense looks pretty good. I mean, the running game was okay. I will say Chase Brown had a really awesome, touchdown run.
I like Chase Brown.
He had a few good carries.
Yeah.
But in general, I mean, the run game is kind of non-existent. I mean,
Right.
and it's weird because the Bengals are very predictable. Very often it's like first down, they'll run, they'll get like 2 yards, maybe 3, and then they stop trying. And then, it's not a great rhythm. But anyways, the offense was fine. But it's again this defense, these defensive problems, and it's hard to say that when you start the game off with a pick six, when you start the defense does such cool things throughout.
Yeah.
Certainly, Trey Hendrickson and the Cincinnati defense, there's a lot to praise. But as a whole, the system
Trey
is just,
Hendrickson, you can stop there.
well, I mean, the boys tried. But the team, it's
so
just
Geno
not
Stone,
gelling.
Geno Stone had some plays. He had the interception. He had a nice QB hit. It was nice to see him come to life.
Yeah.
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 But Joe Burrow had one bad throw, and then he had that interception.
Yeah.
And
it
that
happens.
It happens. But with Joe Burrow, he's not allowed to let that happen. But somehow, this was a crazy game,
Crazy game, crazy time.
crazy time.
Now, here's the question that's, in my mind, and maybe a lot of the Bengals fans' minds out there. Do they have a chance at the playoffs? I mean, like a realistic chance, not 1%. Do they have a chance?
Yeah, way more than it's actually 3 times that. They have a 3% chance.
Okay, so that's not a chance, really.
Well, so there are I think 4 teams that are 8-5. So if they just lose out, then they just got to lose the next 4 games. Just
So they have to win the next 4 games, and the other teams have to lose the next 4 games.
I think one of them at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen.
Well, no. But here's the thing. Do you think Joe Burrow cares? I don't think so. He's playing.
No,
pretty
he
hard.
seems to be playing for the love of it,
He
which I
does.
enjoy.
I love it.
I like that.
He makes me very happy to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I just, as a Bengals fan, I got to wonder what's coming next year. What's the solution? What's the fix? How do we resolve this? I don't know.
Well,
I'm guessing they're going to dump all the blame on Lou and fire Lou. That's my guess.
it's not the Bengals. Yeah, maybe they will. Maybe they will dump it on him. I mean, look, this is one of the worst defenses in history. Some people are saying maybe the worst defense in history.
In the history of NFL?
History, period.
Wow.
So, yeah. So,
here
it's
comes
not
the
good
fool with
when you're the
something.
defensive coordinator, yeah.
I think if we went out in the Branco, well, it could happen then maybe. But anyway, so this season's gone, which is fine. You know, Dadio, I came into this season with a lot of hope, and I think a lot of us did, especially because if you remember, Joe Burrow was hurt, and the Bengals were winning. And they looked playoff ready without him.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And so the idea was that when he comes back, everything's going to just start, firing. All the Pistons are
We
going
all
to start
thought
firing.
that. We all thought that. And
But it's not like that. And I think the real question is why, and the real answer is, it goes back to frugality.
it does, because if you're not investing in the team properly,
Yeah.
then there's no systematic form of consistently hitting on enough players.
Right.
And they're just not doing that, and so they rely on these home run, free agent signings like Trey Hendrickson. That's
Right.
1 out of 10 that you have like that.
It ain't going to keep happening.
No.
No.
So it's bad. But Joe Burrow was very happy. We were happy for him to see him on the sideline with Jamar Chase. They're putting donuts in their faces. Very nice.
Yeah. It was a good, at least.
But
they're
then he
having
gets
fun.
home.
He does.
He gets home and he finds out that his home was burglarized. And now this, Dr. Hodgie, this is one of those situations where we need you on the case,
Happy to.
analyzing
Yeah.
what exactly happened. So here we go.
Blowing up my feed. Did you hear the latest? It's the greatest rumor. It is Hodgie's and Victoria's gossip grill.
The Gossip
Okay,
Grill.
the
It's
Gossip
where you
Grill,
go
yes.
for the latest 411 on the number 9,
Right.
the number 1
Yes.
on your team. Okay.
And,
so
and Yes, calling 911. Go ahead.
And calling 911, which is what happened. So, okay, Joe Burrow, Bengals fans might know, is a very wealthy man. Okay, let's just put that on the table. He recently bought the Batmobile from Chris Nolan's a version of the whole Batman series.
Right.
And that tells you something about this man. I want to go back to the beginning of the season when everyone was laughing at Hodgie. And I was saying, oh, this guy is not himself. You do not do that to your hair with the frosty tips if you are yourself. You do not drastically change your appearance if you're not yourself. He looks jaded. He looks uncomfortable. And I said back then, and I made a song about it, if you remember that, that it has to do with a broken heart. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And it was Olivia, what is her name? Wild?
Newton-John.
No.
No.
The old Olivia that he died.
That's old. She's very old.
That got rid of him, his old girlfriend. I think it's Olivia Wilde.
Yeah.
Oh, Olivia Hamelaka. Anyways, whatever her name was Olivia. Olivia.
Right.
And I told you his heart was broken and no one believed me. Well, now look what happens.
Right.
This was what, yesterday or the day before?
This was last night.
Last night.
He was robbed.
Last night.
He was robbed.
Joey B is not home.
No.
He's riding around on his Batmobile, perhaps.
Well, or he was in Dallas playing football.
And this girl, this blonde girl, what is her name? Olivia. But it's not the old Olivia, it's a new Olivia. And she works for him. And she's alone at the house. She comes home and it's been robbed.
It's been robbed.
And she calls her mom. She's crying. She's screaming. She's like, Mommy, what do I do? They robbed Joe Burrow's house. Everybody's going to think I did it maybe. Yeah. But anyways, she told the police, everything that happened. But all of this aside, the question is, why has Joe Burrow gone after another girl who's blonde and sumptuous, sultry, and looks and is named Olivia? If not because the man has had his heart broken.
Well, I think you're assuming a lot. So remember, she works for him.
She works for him.
And she was a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, whatever. But as you know, a lot of people have talent in different areas. Okay? Sometimes some very well-received people for their looks, they have won Einstein visas to this country. Right?
Okay.
And you'd never guess that they're brilliant. And so Joe Burrow is all about business. And so he hired somebody, I'm assuming this person, manages his finances. Looks like a finance manager.
She does not.
And
She's anything but a finance manager.
Well, then maybe what she does.
I think what you're struggling with is that a lot of people, when they see Joe Burrow and the way he plays and how cool he is in interviews, they imagine, what woman would ever not want to live with Joe Burrow? There's no way Olivia dumped
not
him.
live with. She was
I'm
reporting,
talking about the old Olivia.
To the office.
I'm talking about the old Olivia. You're thinking that he dumped her, so his heart can't be broken. But let me tell you something, Dadio. You never know what a person is like when you live with them.
No,
and the thing about Joe Burrow, you could tell from that cake wiping thing where they wiped his face with cake.
Right.
He's got a little bit of a anger side.
Yes.
And he plays video games a lot.
Yeah.
Look, and sometimes your significant other can leave you for something that seems insignificant. For example, body odor, second wife. Like, you couldn't tell I smelled bad when you married me? Boom, she's gone.
Oh, I thought it was you had a second wife. I see.
No, she left me because of my body odor. That ain't
Well,
cool.
sure.
But anyways, so that's the gossip, is what was she doing there? What did they take? Why did they rob Joe Burrow's house? And,
But again, you're getting sidetracked. This person was reporting to the office, which is Joe Burrow's house, at night when he wasn't there, getting ahead of the finances for the next day, on Tuesday, when he gets back.
Yeah.
Just reporting to the office, sees this, and makes a call. You're reading way too much into this.
What?
She also could have been his security guard. That would make a lot more sense. The security guard hears that the glass broke, gets over there to take out the bad guys, and that is your story.
Yeah. I believe it.
So,
like Angela Jolie in the movie Salt.
Yes, exactly. So here's the thing, Dr. Hodgie.
Talk to me.
Cincinnati Bengals won. People are excited. They're like, how do I express my fandom?
How?
It's actually pretty easy. So if you are $670 worth of happy over the Bengals getting their 5th win season, go ahead. Get the helmet. Of course,
Get
a
5.
special-
One for each win.
Well, why not? And of course, you get the
That
very-
will only cost you around $3,500.
Well, not with this code. It's going to be different. Because I don't know how much it's going to be
different.
different.
Probably more because of taxes.
Yeah. No, I don't. Well, the code, yes. But maybe you're like, no, what do I care about the 5th one? 3% chance of making playoffs. I'm only getting a $35 helmet.
Can
for my
you
nephew.
stop right there? Can you stop the scroll?
No,
Oh, that's
stop.
out of it.
There's no stopping. Yeah. But then finally people are like, hey, Cincinnati
And do you
Bengals
see how many of them are sold out? That means people actually buy
sold
these
out.
things.
They're buying these. And
Yes.
This is from a long time ago. It's even more sold out now.
I bet you they have none of them.
There's no point of going to this website except to try out the code. Because you try out the code, they're like, hey,
Try
Dadio and
the
Hodgie, at least you did something. But
And
while
they
you're
might
there,
have a few decals left of warning.
I think the warning labels are probably not out because
And they have the warning labels in multiple colors.
Right. And why not? I mean, you have different outfits.
GreenGridiron.com code Bengals1 for the number 1 Bengals podcast. Don't forget it. Support the show, support the Bengals, whatever. Do it.
Yes. And you can also go to Patreon and become a patron, and you can get this song that you heard in the beginning that's going to be uploaded there.
Oh gosh, so many great songs.
So many great songs.
Great songs, free.
Absolutely free. Who gives out their music for free?
Very few people.
Very few
I mean, everybody. But yeah,
Well, but they have to listen to ads. No ads.
there
All you
is
have to
no.
do,
The
just
whole
a-
show is an ad.
Just a paid
You just
subscriber.
watch the show, pay for it. That's the ad, and then you listen to the song.
And-
now, Daddy, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the Patreon of the week, 2 weeks in a row, is Seating Cats. Our good
Wow.
friend Seating Cats, yes.
And I will say that if we were giving out, like a high school award for
Yes.
best, most overachieving person who lives in a ceiling and isn't even a person, is just a cat, it would be Ceiling Cat.
It'll be Seating Cats.
Because of the amazing things that cat does, despite the fact that he is a feline
Yes.
who lives in a ceiling. Now, Daddy, could you scroll up in our comments? Because
Yes.
we have a very special guest here. Dashi is here. And one of the
Yes.
first comments that Dashi made,
Right.
he says, Daddy and Dr. Hodgie, I don't know if you both remember me, but I go by Dashi.
Right, I remember Dashi.
I
Yeah.
remember
Dashi
Dashi.
through the snow.
No,
No.
that's not different Dashi.
Different Dashi.
So when, the thing is, people don't know this about me, Daddy, but I'm from a part of Village Island where
Yes.
there's a lot of livestock, goats,
Right.
cows,
Right.
that kind of chickens.
Yes.
And so I can't sleep unless there's the sound of livestock, being played.
Yes.
And when you and I first moved to Northern Kentucky, if you remember, I guess because of some salacious thing people were doing with sounds of livestock, they were illegal to sell in, I think it was Kent County or wherever we live in, Kenton County, we were living. And Dashi dashed us over some great records with sounds
Now I
of
remember
livestock.
Dashi.
Now
Yes.
you remember that I
Yes.
was able
Pet
to
sounds.
sleep.
It was
pet
good.
sounds. I was able to sleep. Dashi, thank
was a
you
great
for
album.
yeah.
Beautiful
Thank you, Dashi.
harmonies. Yeah.
Bless you, sir, for letting a man get his rest.
Yes. Speaking of rest, this
Rest.
show should be put to rest because
Why?
John Brain Sheeran is not here.
No,
We don't have a lot to talk about.
I have a lot to talk about.
Really?
Should Zach Taylor be fired?
Yes. Well, let's put that in the comments. Should Zach Taylor, does this save Zach Taylor's job?
The win?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean,
But there's-
here's the question. Does Zach Taylor even need to worry about his job? Cincinnati Bengals aren't going to fire him. They're going to blame
Well,
everything on
speaking
Lou.
of worrying about their job, do you know who is worrying about his job?
You?
No. somebody-
Dadio pulled what they called when he moved to America, by the way, kids. I'm going to the past.
Yeah.
We call it a reverse Goodwill Hunting. So you watch Goodwill Hunting, he's a custodian who he solves all these math equations at MIT, and he turns out to be a genius. Dadio was the head of his own company, and he started to write stuff down and say stuff, and everybody figured out how he wasn't really all that smart. Reverse Goodwill Hunting. You remember that?
Yes, I do, but it doesn't make for as good of a movie, and it's not as believable. And also, there was a lot of haters on my case back then. A lot of false information. But what I want to say, Dr. Hodgie, is do you know who's fighting for his job other than me? Is the head coach of the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
No other than Brian Callahan. Brian Callahan, his team's 3-10.
Yeah, he
They
sucks.
just lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars
We could have told you.
10-6. They got destroyed by the Washington Commanders. They are a mess.
They are. As
They're
are
bad
we.
offensively. Well, sure, but nobody's paying us.
No.
Unless you go to patreon.com/theedgesports.
I didn't mean us, I
or
meant
to
the Bengals.
greengridiron.com.
Yeah.
Code Bengals1. But,
Because
so here's the thing.
Yeah.
They are a mess.
Mess.
They have this guy, this big guy, Will Levis, who is just big. He's not quite Josh Allen. And they are struggling on
Are you
offense.
saying that if he had a better quarterback, he could do better, Brian Callahan?
Well, I mean, it's a big drop-off in accuracy from Joe Burrow to Will Levis. But really, do you remember when Jamar Chase was talking about Brian Callahan, what he said? He said, I love that Dan Pitcher moves me all over the field. And really, I mean, the way Jamar Chase is being utilized now, it's night and day. And he's like, but I love Cali, though. So in other words, Brian Callahan could not do this. He was not as creative as Dan Pitcher. He was not as good. But I love Cali. And by that he means, I like
him as a person.
I like him as a person.
I like you as a
his
friend.
hair. He sometimes would buy me those hot pretzels or
I
something
don't
like
like
that.
you like that.
Don't like you like that.
Yeah.
But that is the situation, is that we are going to play him in Tennessee. And
Maybe give him a big win.
we could give him a big win. So what is your prediction, Dr. Hodgie?
Well, things are looking on the up and up for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Really?
And I'm really happy about the fact that Joe Burrow is playing the best football of his life. In fact, from what I remember hearing on Monday Night Football, he said there was really no comparison to the way he was playing before. And that's how it looks to us. He's throwing on the run. He's connecting in crazy ways. Very often, passes that are not complete are because of drops.
Drops or the receiver running the wrong routes.
Route. He's looking amazing,
Amazing.
and it shows on the team. And that you take that into consideration. Take into consideration that the defense is pumped up. They had a pretty decent game, better than before. You take into consideration the fact that we still have, amazingly, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yeah.
You take into the fact that Chase Brown has found his wings. He's found his identity.
Yeah.
You take into the
good.
fact, you take into the fact that our team has nothing to lose. There's pretty much no chance they
They're
make
playing
it to the
loose. Geno
They're
Stone
playing-
played loose for the first time.
playoffs. Who's keeping it fast and loose.
Yeah.
I would predict, because based on all that the Bengals actually are going to win.
Wow.
I think they are going to win by a new foot, the foot of our new kicker, who has replaced the man fallen from grace, Evan McPherson. And he did a pretty decent job. He didn't
Yeah.
miss any extra points, which made me
Yes.
happy. So
Cade
I think
York, I believe his name. Yeah.
they are going to win by one field goal.
Wow.
I think the score will be 26-23, and we still won't make the playoffs. And that is my Hodgie score.
Well, we won't know if we make the play. I think we're still in the hunt. Even
But
next week. I
Pluto
think so.
is in Aquarius, which means it's a time of revolutionary activities. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius was during the French Revolution.
I
It
see.
is time for a revolution, people. Maybe the Bengals will pull it off. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, before I give my prediction, don't forget to leave a 5-star review of our podcast. This is the show, but you can listen on iTunes and elsewhere. So leave that 5-star review for us, and thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my prediction.
Yeah.
So, yes, the Titans are a mess.
They
But we've played a lot of teams that were a mess. We played a lot of teams that were in bad situations. We played teams that were struggling offensively, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. We played teams with a backup QB, like the Dallas Cowboys, and they still put up points. And this is in Tennessee. Tennessee hates us. We beat them in the playoffs. We embarrassed them.
And there's a
They-
history there because it
there's a
used to be
history there.
Oilers versus
Used to be
Bengals.
Oilers. Obviously, we had that whole thing where we blew them out because the coach was a rude guy, and
Yeah.
so I'm talking about with Sam Weich back in
Sam
the
frickin' White.
yes. So here's the thing. I say that the Tennessee Titans generally play physical football. They have some big guys. Will Levis is a big guy. You know, they can hit. I think that the Titans are actually going to stomp the Cincinnati Bengals. The final score will be 31-17 Cincinnati. That's my final prediction.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's my prediction.
Wait, hold on. Let's back up here a little bit, Daddy, because I feel like
Yes.
I misunderstood. At first,
Right.
you presented this scenario where it was pretty clear the Bengals would lose.
Right.
But then,
I said
and then you said they were gonna that they were gonna stomp.
they're gonna stomp. So, as you know, a few months ago there was a show in Cincinnati, and people would take out random household objects, garbage cans, cheap things that he could find, and they could beat on them and make beautiful noises.
Right.
And they called this show a stomp.
And
so-
was it a stomp or was it just stomp?
Yes, a stomp. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the point is, the Tennessee Titans are going to throw everything they have out there. They're going to try to distract the Bengals. Their fans. They're going to make noise. They're going to be rowdy. They're going to be annoying.
Right.
And they're going to stomp them. But the Bengals, obviously, their offense is way too powerful.
Yeah.
And they will still win. That's my prediction. Yeah.
Well, I hope you're right,
Well, thank you.
because I know John doesn't take it well when we lose. He's very upset.
No, he doesn't. And he doesn't take it well when we do the show. And so he decided John needs a little break from the craziness for the losing and the show and all that combined. So we have
But you
given
had
John,
double brain.
he's
Hodgie
on
gave the
sabbatical,
tricks Moji she
which
can get.
yes,
Yeah.
with the internship sabbatical. So
And Victoria
we should
is
Victoria is she's not here. You're right. I just noticed that she's not here. But
and Bridget is
well, so that's the thing. That's what you will notice. You will say, "Hey, it looks like nobody wants to do the show."
It looks like nobody wants to do a show with you.
Well, who else has access to the StreamYard account? Nobody.
That's true.
So, okay, that is all we have for this show. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Don't forget to subscribe here, turn on notifications, go to patreon.com/DHSports and patronize us. Like Sailing Cat, you can be a champ. And check out John's articles on A2ZSports.com.
Comment
Slash-
about do you think Zach should be fired? Thanks, fool.
Yes. Thank you. The Fool. We'll see you next time. So long. Sweetie. Bye.